Yo, what? We're back again.
What's going on?
We got the hats on.
You
We
be
got
aight.
everything going nice and smooth. This is You Be Alright podcast. Steven, you be alright. Rachel, you be alright. Everyone out there is gonna be alright. Getting near the holidays, and I just want to let everyone out there, I love you, and so I just want to let you know, you be alright. This is You Be Alright podcast presented by AML Media. That's Alberta Marie Laborda Media. Love you, Mom. We got a picture up there. Love my mom. Guys, come on in. This is a little bit of a wacky episode, so stick with us. We want to hear your opinions. Love, hate, like, share, whatever you want to do. But thanks for coming for the ride. And, yeah.
Aight.
Let's see where this one goes. Rachel, hit us with the plugs before shit gets crazy.
Okay, we are on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. All of our social media handles are on the screen, so take a screenshot if you're watching the video, or you can go to our website to find all of the direct links there. It's aml.news.blog.
Go to the website if you want to get everything. Alrighty, let's get this shit gone. So I have something I wanted to. Last episode was so not heated. Maybe we'll call it heated. We were having some good snack talk, and we ran out of time.
Snack talk can't be heated.
Not yeah, you're right. Not heated. It was so interesting and dynamic we were having going on that we ran out of time. That is something I kept trying to get to, so I did want to circle back. Which will be a nice little kind of like a gathering piece from last episode to this one. Something that really changes from person to person, I've noticed. I've noticed this because I've done a lot of traveling through college lacrosse. I was a coach for a little bit in summer ball, and we would have to travel a lot. Car snacks can be... They can't range that much because it's always, you're stopping at a 7-Eleven or gas station or something. But it seems like everyone out there has a different car snack a little bit. And mine was handed down a lot of times, like politics and religion was what my car snacks were handed down to me.
So this is Snack Talk Volume 2.
Snack Talk Volume 2, but this is more specific. And Rachel, if you want to do car snacks.
No, Snack Talk Volume 2.
Yeah, whatever one. You got the creative thumb. You think
Like a Rick Ross type album, right?
the Carter 3, like
Yeah.
Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Snack Talk Volume 2, coming to you hot.
Plus, we got our beanies on.
Yeah,
Matching.
basically matching beanies.
Yeah.
Although I guess my car, your Adidas one's sweet because it's better taken care of, but the Carhartt.
Yeah. I'm gonna argue with you on that
Yeah,
one.
and this was my grandfather's that I was named after. No big deal.
Jeans is vintage.
This is this is
it's
vintage
worn. Yeah, you got a generation's worth of sweat.
of cool old dude sweat too.
Very cool.
I
I
He
wonder
would
what
go-
his car snack was.
I would say
Peanuts?
I was gonna say peanuts or just a simple pretzel, which we got a lot of pretzel talk last time.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting too fancy. He's too.
No, plus it's he grew up at the end of the Depression and shit.
Yeah, he was like a depression baby. So like,
yeah.
he needed to go like, what can I get my value for?
Right.
That actually, real quick. Remember, there was a long period of time there that he kept getting in car accidents because he listened to jazz, like thoroughly enjoyed cool jazz, and would just fall asleep in his car and kind of get in a small little.
I don't remember that at all.
Dude, there was a time there for like a couple years that and it was always small because literally it would be during the Pine Barrens on those long ass roads, and just the jazz, he'd eventually just probably get down, fall asleep, lay off the gas, and then just like kind of be in a ditch and be like, oh shit.
No, but he did like jazz. Gotta say, I couldn't ever get into the music he liked. I liked everything about him. He taught me that reading books is cool, and I still do that. But I can't do the jazz.
And golfed. He was a good golfer.
Yeah, he gave me my first golf clubs.
Yeah.
I remember you told me about how you like fucking dogged him because he never had a hole in one. Or you only had one.
I asked how many hole in ones you have. You said one. I said only one.
Yeah.
So yeah. Thanks. I'll make sure I don't fall asleep tonight because of that memory. But also, I don't think we've even talked about. Did we talk about the ducks yet? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll shout out Eugene Labordi, the original.
Your namesake.
My namesake was a really cool dude. Played fucking...
Not the coolest name, but a cool dude.
Yeah. Well, it's good. I'm making it cool again.
Are you?
Well, you know what sucks is we've watched, 3 series now that... Like that new Wednesday show about the new Addams Family. Of course, the dork who keeps bees' name is Gene. But he's like Latin. I don't know why they gave him
Keeping
that name.
bees is cool these days.
It is, but he wasn't a cool character.
I know. I watched the one episode. The show's beat. But anywho. Snack Talk Volume 2.
So I have mine. You want me to go so you can have a second to think?
Yeah, you're springing this on me.
So I bounce around them a little bit, but number one I think I'd throw in is combos.
Okay.
And that's a total mom. I got that from Mom.
And you can always get a combo at any convenience or rest stop. Always they have combos.
And to furthermore on that, if you can get I think it's the 5-layer dip. I think it's called.
The taco dip.
Was it the taco dip one?
I don't know what that's what it is.
Yeah, I think they're called 5-layer dip.
Yeah, it's just yellow and white. And it's also, the big difference in combos is the pretzel versus the cracker. And the taco one has the cracker. I prefer the cracker.
Same.
And it's one of those things I don't eat. I don't get old of the flavor. I can just keep snacking them. It's like one I gotta pace myself. I'll be like, all right, another minute before I can eat 2 more of these.
They have some girth to them too, so they'll stretch out.
That's the thing.
You can't really crush a bag of combos.
Yeah, because it does have a little bit of substance there.
It's got some body to it.
Whereas
the heroin addicts say, it's got legs.
It's got legs on it. Because you know what I meant to. We were talking about snacks last time. Munchos.
I got a cube in my mouth on accident. What should I do with it?
Go ahead and eat the cubes away from the mic, because I'll talk about Munchos, which you love. And for people out there that don't know what they are, it's so hard to explain what it is. It's in the shape of chips, but it's made out of airy. I don't even know. It's almost the consistency of a Funyun.
6 Munchos equals 1 potato chip.
Yeah, and that's one of those ones if you took a bag, the family size bag of Munchos, crushed them down, and put them in water, it would be seriously a handful of them, because they're so airy. But every single ounce and nook and cranny are covered in salt. They'll hurt your mouth if you eat a whole bag. Of those.
And they're I don't even know if they have small bags of Munchos. They only come in those $2 bags.
Yeah, it's not the family size. It's not the one person size. It's that in between where it's what Munchos, they knew the market they're going after. They're no normal healthy person's eating these, so just make the fat serving size of them.
Give them one option, and it's the fat option.
And for me, it's about 1.5 servings of them when I get those.
They're hard to stop.
Yeah,
because they're so light and delicious.
But
that is not my road snack.
No. I wanted to bring that up because you were eating an ice cube on camera. But combos is number one for me. And if I have to go, if they don't have that 5-layer, not whatever flavor, the pepperoni pizza pretzel one will be my second of those.
See, I'm always getting the cracker one if I'm going combos. I don't like the pretzel ones.
I think the only other cracker one is just straight cheese and
cracker.
No,
pepperoni pizza comes with the cracker too.
Well, that's the thing. That goes to show, that's the levels of gas stations. Because if they have, a crap gas station's going to have, 2 options. A good gas station's going to have 5 to 7 options of the combos.
I like the cheddar ones too. The ones that like the original combo probably.
The original cracker combo. Yeah, because the original combo is a pretzel.
Probably, yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty sure the original is just cheddar pretzel. And then I'm always grabbing, which can whoever makes beef jerky, can we figure out a way to make this shit cheaper? I guess not, but dude, I will spend just as much money on goddamn beef jerky when I'm going. I've driven from Philly to Pittsburgh 100 times by now. I think the amount of money I've spent on beef jerky is close to the amount of money I've spent on goddamn tolls. Because when I'm getting into and I always go teriyaki. Original, okay, but the black pepper will burn your mouth off and ruin.
See, that's a good strategy though, because then you don't eat it as fast.
True. But because then they have the knockoffs, like the Jack Link's nuggets or whatever.
They're good though.
Yeah, but they're so fake. They coat your mouth with a weird something. So I usually try to go with I don't even know the brands, but the clear bags. Actually, the one I
think
always
it's Wild Bill's.
Yeah, it's got like a short cowboy on there shooting guns.
Yeah.
Teriyaki of those. I'll spend I think it's probably like $18 for that. But I will do half the bag home and then half the bag back. So
You're not eating that shit during your visit?
No, because if I bring it in the house, you're going to house it. Or Dad's going to find it, and then I'll never get any more.
It is good. And that's too rich for my blood. I'm not fucking with a $13+ bag of anything.
That's why I can justify saying it's going to be 7 and 7, because I'm half and half there. That, and then definitely a bottle of water. Because for some reason, being in the car, because I either got the air or something going, for whatever reason, on the turnpike, I get really dehydrated.
Okay.
So I always have a bottle of water and then an iced tea. You tend to stay away from carbonated beverages because then I get gassy. And no one wants to be in a 6-hour ride with a gassy Gene.
Yeah. No, I don't. I definitely don't.
So that's my hot. And then every once in a while, I'll go left field and grab something weird. I used to do sun chips. Or not sun chips. Sunflower seeds.
Sun chips are fucking awesome.
That's usually my... If I'm like Saturday, me and Rachel are going to watch a movie and I go to the gas station, I'll grab some sun chips. That's a great home snack.
Which ones?
Cheddar Harvest. They're all good. No, the red bag, whatever the red bag is.
Salsa.
That's like salsa ones.
Fiesta salsa.
But all of them are good. I can
literally even the plain blue bag.
Yeah, yeah.
They're good.
The only thing is, you know what's bad about the sun chip? You can't sneak them into a movie theater because it's the loudest bag on planet Earth. Because I think they went to try and make a healthy, like a better environmental bag, but the motherfucker's loud as shit.
Nobody would have ever pegged you as somebody who's trying to sneak snacks into a movie theater.
Fucking popcorn, all right? Listen, beef jerky, get your prices down. Movie theaters, you're competing with a lot of things. Maybe cut back on the price of popcorn, and you'll get a couple people going.
That's where they make their money, apparently.
They can't even fucking... all these movie theaters are struggling. No one's coming to movie theaters. Well, maybe because it cost a small fucking thing of popcorn costs more than the family's tickets. So figure it out, AMC.
Yeah.
Not to go on a rant. I don't want to get angry this early.
Snack talk, bro. Snack talk.
I get passionate about the snacks. It's an important part of life.
No.
It's the small... It is. It's one of those things like you got to enjoy the small things, right?
No, I was sarcastically saying you worked up about snack talk. Come on.
I think a lot of people get worked up about snacks. But so you had some time. So give me your rundown of you haven't had to do the ride as much, and a lot of times you do it by yourself. That is it's a big difference.
I prefer to go drive it by myself because I get to pick the music,
which usually sucks.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
And I don't have to hear anybody tell me like I need to slow down.
Which you do.
I do need to slow down.
Well,
but
it's not the slow down.
Better.
It's the why do you have to be 5 inches off the person in front of you? It really is like something in there you can't help. It's like a dog that can't stop chasing down a rabbit.
It's like a race to me.
But then they get over and then you do like the same speed. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not here to talk.
It keeps your mind occupied. Like you're. Like,
keep my adrenaline gland going to be like I might have to slam on the brakes and hopefully stop in time.
Maybe. There's probably
it's another
deeper
thing.
Psychology to why I drive like that. But
Back to snacks. Rachel, have yours ready. You're coming next.
In the last year or two, my go-to road snack is ice cubes. No bullshit.
He does. Well, I think we talked. The guy's got an ice addiction.
I
man.
do, and it's real. I love it. I love it so much that part of my tongue is a little burnt because it's cold.
The dude's got frozen burns on his tongue.
Yeah, part of my tongue is a little fucked up right now. But
which isn't a bad one.
No. But the thing is, you run out of ice quick.
Yeah.
And
then you're just always
a lot.
Wet hands Steve.
Yeah.
If you see this kid eating ice and he goes to grab something, dry that goddamn hand off.
I'm always flicking the water off my hands at my window, and I swear to God, people are like, that dude's littering. Like,
This dude has been like, it's long enough now where he's lost the sense of like, it's crazy to just be like, he'll be sitting in the car with all of a sudden, like, why am I, dude, stop flicking your wet hand
I
on
only
me.
do that to you, though.
I think you've done it by accident. But anyway, ice doesn't count.
No, it doesn't, but it is my favorite. But I think I really like the Ranch Bugle.
A bugle? That's a good one.
Or the regular, any bugle.
Bugles are a good one.
Mm-hmm. And there's always at least one bugle option at a rest stop.
You know what this is interesting?
And Pringles. I love.
I was just about to, well, that's kind of, it almost conflicts what I was about to say, like, because the car snack is special a little bit because you're like, I got to kind of endure shittiness. So I think, you know, like if I'm on my way home on a Friday night and I go, all right, it's going to be movie night, I'm picking way different snacks than when I'm like, I have to drive 6 hours or something.
See, yeah, the only time I even consider that I need to get a road snack is for a drive that long.
Oh, yeah, you're not getting one for a half-hour drive, even a 2-hour drive.
Yeah. The only snack I need on a short drive is the cubes.
It's the cube. And nicotine.
I was going to say earlier, the main snack I want on a car ride is cigarettes.
Which, when you and Mom would be in a, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
You guys couldn't, like, if I had a baby, you guys would have been in jail because you can't not smoke in a car. You literally have told me, like, I don't care what I'm smoking now. And I go, inconsiderate, and you go, yeah, I know, I don't care.
Well, at least yeah.
But
most people who smoke would agree, like, you can't not smoke when you're driving.
But you also chew. So it's like, dude, could you, like, you know, be nice to people in the car and chew?
I really only chew, if someone else is in the car. But I have a terrible. I put down the drugs and the alcohol.
Yes,
I have
I'll
a serious nicotine addiction.
You can have that, and then coffee.
I was gonna say that is the one thing. If I have to forego snacks, nicotine and caffeine will get me through.
Which most truckers would probably tell you. Yes.
Yeah. I also have a serious caffeine addiction.
And it's coffee too, because like we used to, back in the days of having fun. So Rachel doesn't have to X out this portion.
Yeah, she's already marking down where to cut the.
But Red Bulls. It was always, you come in and get some Bulls.
Well, there's. See, when I hit my lip on the mic, I jump.
You get scared.
I'm a jumpy motherfucker.
We're trying to teach this guy how to properly podcast.
Yeah,
and
apparently I get quiet.
He doesn't know how to get close enough.
And I gesture around and stuff. I'll get there, people. Bear with me.
So number one is nicotine. Then we'll put.
If I had to have only the one, yeah.
And then coffee. Not even like, because it has to be coffee for a long ride. Because it, I will say.
What other caffeine option are you like a
Monster
iced tea or something? I'll get a couple Monsters sometimes.
But I
prefer coffee.
I was gonna say coffee because
it stays warm.
Yeah, because as soon as like a Monster Red Bull loses carbonation, it immediately sucks. But a coffee you can let it hang out for a while, and even if it just gets like room temperature, even a little bit cold, it's still drinkable.
I never really thought about the versatility of the coffee. You're right, because even if it cools off, it's still like it's not terrible.
Yeah, especially because we're creamers and
I hate when I get a cup of coffee and it's too hot to drink.
You just want it, yeah.
I want the instant gratification.
And I'm not even a coffee drinker, but I know the rules of coffee because our whole family loves coffee.
Yeah.
I think the first thing when you were moving to your apartment, you were like, all right, bed, clothes, and coffee maker.
Coffee maker and toaster.
Yes.
When me and Rachel went out to get some stuff, I had to have a toaster and a coffee maker.
It is funny that when you were getting ready, like, you have to have a woman when you're shopping for something in your house.
It helps, definitely.
It really, really does, and I think they like it kind of. But
no, she helped a lot too.
You need sometimes the opinion to the second thought, because if I was there, I'd be like, yeah, just fucking grab a toaster, man.
Well, there was only 2 options at Big Lots. Shout out Big Lots. But no, like she remembered like little detail, like a proper towel to hang by the bathroom sink, like that doesn't look like it's been run over in a puddle.
Yeah, because we would be fine. It's like, why don't I just take a big towel and cut it in the 1/6, and now I have towels.
Dude, you know those microfiber Johns
for washing cars?
Yeah,
I hate those.
I cut those in half as dish rags. They're too big without cutting them to be.
Because they're
dish
meant
rag.
for a car.
Yeah.
Which they do.
I have like 12 of them for some
That's
reason.
because like as much as we would get like toothpaste and like things like that from Mom for Christmas, a lot of times we get like a car wash thing or something like that.
Yeah. I still have that bucket in my trunk.
Buckets. I haven't even opened mine up, and I keep going like, dude, I need to use.
Your
this,
house
but
is not a good place to wash a car.
no,
though.
I have to go to a car wash here.
Yeah.
But Rachel, I've been anticipating because I think I know what yours are, but I think they might change now because you've been a little spicy girl lately. You went from like a jalapeno popper could ruin your day to now you're using sriracha, a little Tabasco sauce. You're like in the sweet, spicy Doritos and stuff.
Yeah, so this one is a wild card. Buying snacks for a long car ride is kind of one of those times that I feel like there's no rules.
There is definitely
I
no
might
rules.
eat an entire bag of Cheez-Its, or
Cheez-Its
I
a good one.
might get Burger King onion rings and try to squeeze ketchup on them while I'm driving.
I fuck with onion rings heavy.
I was going to say probably if I had to narrow down to one item, it would be the Gardetto's bag of all rye chips, because most rest stops or gas stations have those, and then I don't have to pick all the good stuff out.
And we talked about that in depth heavily last episode, so go back if you haven't seen it.
But right now, at this moment, if we were going to go on a long car ride, I would get the purple bag of Doritos.
I thought that was what it's going to be. 'Cause you kind of do with snacks is what I do with songs, where when I first hear it and I love it, I will listen to it until I
Go
beat it to the
heavy.
ground. And then, because that's how I was with Purple Bag Doritos for like 2 years. And then I was like, I can't eat these anymore. And then just, a couple weeks ago, you refound them. And I go, yeah, these are ballin'. Say the big discrepancy is, are you I'm going to get fast food on the road or snacks? Because I feel like growing up, we would stop and like, we'd grab like a snack from the house and we would like stop and get like, Burger King.
Mom was really like, she liked that kind of shit. Like, she liked us to get all our like food and our snacks for the trip. Everyone gets a coffee. Like, she genuinely like subtly, you could tell when she would get excited about shit like that.
The trip was when it was us. We're going to the cabin, stopping at the Wawa and getting everything. And she would. It took a while to be like, we gotta stop letting Gene get hot chocolate because we have to stop and poop 3 times.
Right.
But also last night at bowling, I was sitting next to the trash can, and someone ate something with onions in it, dumped it in there, and I immediately craved a Whopper.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of how many half-eaten cold Whoppers I would eat, because that was one of Mom's things. She would stop on the turnpike and get a Whopper and sloppily eat half of it.
It's hard to not sloppily eat a Whopper.
Yes.
But especially in a car.
Yeah. And because it was my mom, I don't care how sloppy it was. I was like, I know that was Mom's, and I'd eat a cold-ass Whopper the next morning with her. You can see her big-ass bite marks, and I'm like, cold Whopper.
Much like coffee, even a Whopper when it gets cold. It's that onion, mayo, ketchup, pickle.
It really
mix.
is one of the best done. I often forget about it until I smell, and it's seriously, I think it's the smell of ketchup and onion together where I go, I want a Whopper right now.
See, I thought you preferred the McDonald's minced onion.
I do until I smell that combo, because like last night, and it's funny, the person that was eating that was bowling next to Rachel, and she came over, and we're not going to talk about it again. Did not have a great time at bowling last night. She comes over and I go, I really want a Whopper, and she goes, I was thinking about the Impossible Whopper.
I literally Googled Burger King's hours before I went to talk to him.
Before I even talked to her about it.
There aren't a lot of Burger Kings up here.
Nah, well, we're used
to home. There's Burger Kings everywhere.
Well, there's only the Burger King next to our house, and then where's the other ones? I think we're just used
There's
to
one right up New Falls Road. There's a lot of them. So
Okay.
not just
Well,
pulling
because
it
I
out
would
of
say
my butt.
there's probably across the nation, there's probably 2 McDonald's to every Burger King, if not more.
I just can't think of where Burger King is by my spot.
Not by you
At
no.
all.
I don't even think McKnight Road has a Burger King.
And McKnight Road has everything, but no
Yeah.
Burger King.
And that's really
And
the.
I like the mozzarella sticks. You get 8 for like
You like the see? I got those.
Hell
I didn't.
yeah.
I wasn't a
always
big.
want a
You know
mozzarella
why?
stick.
I didn't like their marinara sauce. It was too sweet. It was like sweet marinara sauce.
I'm not a marinara girl, but I did not really like their mozzarella sticks either.
In our defense, the day before we had Applebee's mozzarella sticks.
Yeah,
And
that.
then, and then like 4 or 5 days before that, we had the Arby's mozzarella sticks, which is king of.
You should probably not do 3 mozzarella sticks in 3 days.
No, I didn't. It wasn't 3 days. This was
okay.
like a week and a half. I'm just saying.
I'm
you know.
also in pre-diet mode, so we've been
Going ham.
yeah.
Oh, you know, well, she's going ham. I'm just being normal, okay? But it was funny. Earlier today, we went grocery shopping just like for a little bit, and she goes, "Well, you know, after Christmas, I'm gonna kick my diet into a higher gear," and I didn't laugh because if she said I'm gonna kick it in a high gear, but she goes into a higher gear, and I go, "Well, what are you in neutral right now?
Yeah, what gear?
What gear? You're not in first gear."
I'm in a low gear. I'm being mindful, but
By the
no.
amount of mozzarella and onion rings, you're in reverse gear.
I was
Rachel.
going to say, it's not a great sign that you're packing in extra calories before the start of the diet. I don't know. That doesn't sound to me like you're really...
it's not
diet mode.
necessarily that I'm packing in extra. I'm just not stopping myself from having Burger King for dinner.
You know what, my sweet baby, beautiful wife. If this is what you're stressed out, you've been working a lot. You do you. You have a couple Burger Kings, and then after the new year, I'll go with you. I'm gonna start dieting too.
All right, mark that down. You heard it here. We're going to hold you to this.
I didn't define dieting. That's good. But no, it's to start a diet right now is literally next Sunday, Christmas Day. Is
No.
basically another Thanksgiving.
And diets are hard, man. To all the people out there struggling to lose weight, like, it's fucking hard. I always like it. It's not far off from a drug addiction. It really isn't.
Well, that's how much sometimes we've debated. It's not harder, but you don't need heroin, but you need to eat. So it's hard
Right.
to, you know. And I've learned you have to set guidelines because
You have to
the
keep-
right thing is like, yeah, you got to change the way you live. Well, it's like, well, I've been doing this for 31 years now, basically. So
No, you got to keep it piecemeal.
need-
You can't do it all at once. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
You can't. You always go balls to the wall extremes, and that's why it's impossible to maintain that if you go all out. Like you gotta.
True.
I'm bad at moderation though, so like when I do fully vegan, it's good for me because I know what I can have and I know what I can't have versus well, I'll just have a little cheese.
Yeah, but no, you've been vegan enough because you can't go
Vegan,
lazy.
you can't eat cheese and be vegan. You could be
No,
vegetarian.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. If I do vegan, then I know I can't eat cheese.
Right.
Well, the
right.
And
thing
I'm good.
is being lazy vegan doesn't help either. Like,
No,
just
that's
because it's a
just-
vegan chicken nugget, it's got just as much sodium and fats as a normal chicken nugget. So, like,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Impossible Whopper has just as many calories as the normal Whopper.
No, I hear you.
It's not, it's not a diet in that sense, but when it's keeping me from eating some things, it's something else. But I also feel better that way.
Yeah, it does make you feel better. I'll give you
and
that.
the animals.
I think the biggest thing is like, and we've said this amongst ourselves before, like, there's no loopholes.
No.
And that it sucks because all that money people spend on all this shit. I mean, it's been a big booming business and industry forever. Is diet fucking DVDs now, diet apps, and there's no shortcut to it.
There are tools that have helped
No,
people.
they can help. I'm just saying, like, you have to make up your mind.
And we've known this. And this is the thing. The one thing I have to give myself, I'm not an excuse fat. I know why I'm fat. And the person that goes, oh, I go, when people go, they don't know. I'm like, yes, you do. And it's like a fucking alcoholic. The first step is admitting your problem. And if you go, I don't know why I'm fat, well, then either you are retarded or you're just making an excuse for yourself.
especially
Eat less and exercise is the simplest thing in the world.
for an adult, you got to give kids a pass.
Oh,
Bad
yes.
parenting
I'm not even
is run
talking.
rampant in this country. But yeah, if you're an adult, you know why you're fat.
Because, like, I've had, and shit, even now, I've done Nutrisystem probably 4 times in my life, like different stents. And like now when you do Nutrisystem, they literally tell you, they're like, this isn't you're not supposed to buy your food off us for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? Like, because now they have we have a la carte.
I'm shocked that they say that. You would think they'd be like,
Yeah,
buy
but
our food for the rest of your life.
I mean, they make plenty of money, but like they're like, well, stick with us for 3 months and then start going. You know, buy your dinners from us, because now they have a la carte. We don't have to buy a whole month and all that stuff.
Okay.
Just because they probably had so many people every January, their sales would boom, and then February everyone would stop doing it.
I firmly believe, like, especially Nutrisystem is an unrealistic thing for somebody over a certain weight. Like, I think Nutrisystem is really for somebody who wants to lose 10 pounds. Well, because when you gave me some of those Nutrisystem meals when I first moved in and didn't have any food, and like, I had to eat 2 of them.
But you're supposed to supplement.
You're supposed to eat like 4 servings of vegetable with them and stuff.
Right.
And they tell you, and they do a good job. You get a book, and like the first week is like they basically like the first week's hard, and what we're doing is shrinking your stomach. So like you have a protein shake instead of lunch. It's entertaining for all the people. No, just kidding.
Well, a lot of people can relate, man.
No, it is,
especially people sitting on the internet watching.
And so Nutrisystem, you're right, like it's very successful for people that like, I just want to drop 30 pounds. But it is, they do a good way. I think they've learned they had to change their marketing of, we're just trying to teach you portion control. So like stick with us for 3 months and then come back, you know, because like some of their desserts, like there's probably people out there that just buy Nutrisystem desserts because like their one brownie is banging. But it's like a protein brownie kind of thing, and you can just buy 5 of them if you want for the month or whatever. But it does teach you portion control. That's all it is doing.
Does it though? If it's saying like eat this meal and then 4 or 5 servings of vegetables with it, that's not portion control.
No, you're not eating 4 or 5 portions of veggies with that. You're eating like 1 serving of vegetables with every meal.
No, it's like 2 servings, and maybe not 4 or 5. But it's teaching, like, this is where I go, a lot of people know this, but they just have to have someone tell them to do it a little bit. Of like, go, dude, eat all the fucking green beans you want. Because eventually you'll get bored of them. Don't load them up with butter and salt. But, like, dude.
Which is tough.
Well,
yeah,
and
like,
teaching you, like, this is how much pasta is.
Yeah, the bad foods of going, like a full, like a quarter pounder burger is really like 2 servings. So when you get their burgers, it's like an 1/8 patty with like no cheese, and they tell you, hey, like you can put mustard has no calories. So it teaches you those things, which to a lot of people, I still like. You knew that, but this is just a program.
It's reinforcer,
and also it's got the thing like you spent money to do this, so
that's a big reinforcer.
Yeah. So like especially like because I think if you just start like the first month, they like make you buy a full month. I might be wrong about that, but I think it's them going like, listen, you can lose 10 pounds in the first month, cost $300-$400, but that's also going to be the driving force of like, hey, you really going to go to McDonald's? You have a burger at home, and you can be full. And also it teaches you to not, and that's where I always have a problem. It's like, don't eat just one big ass meal a day. Like,
yeah,
just graze throughout the day is really.
That's really what they teach you. Like when I had surgery, that's the biggest thing they teach you is like, you should be having like 5 small meals a day. That's like the best way to maintain a healthy weight once you lose weight.
And it makes sense because if human beings before we had all this technology, it's like no one has time to make a sit down and prepare a meal for an hour and stuff. It's like, yeah, but I can grab a handful of this.
Yeah, we're hunter-gatherers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. But it's tough out there, people. Keep trying. That's the biggest thing. Don't quit. Keep trying.
And I you know what? We like to be funny here, but to give you the shout out of, and I think that was the note I wrote one time you found. You are in such a crazy small population, which to all your craziness of giving my dogs eye drops and picking up spoons with the extender arm and dropping cheese on the floor, you are one of the few people in the world that lost the weight. You lost what, over 200 pounds? Or right around 2?
Yeah, right around 2 at this point.
Kept it off, and then beat drug and alcohol, which is under like 5%. It's crazy.
Yeah, talk about these people complaining about not the minorities. They don't. I'm a freaking minority, dude. Big time.
The kid beat EverQuest.
That too, man. Video game addiction.
Which nowadays you would have if you had a Twitch, you might be rich as shit right now.
Yeah. But I would be still super fat.
Yes, and those basement steps probably would have had to been rebuilt.
Right. Right.
Mom, get the bucket.
Yeah, but this is a time of the year where a lot of people have dieting on their minds, so I think it's good that we touch on that. This doesn't have to be fucking knee slappers all episode, you know?
And it is, because it is, listen, to the real fats I know out there, this is funny because this shit sucks.
It's relatable.
And if you can't laugh, you're going to cry. And that's, you got to keep that, that mindset. Just keep on chugging, because you know what?
You be all right.
You be all right, guys. You be all right. Which this is around the time we didn't even mention we're 8 days away from Christmas.
Yep.
Which we'll probably we'll have another episode
Christmas
before then.
Eve.
We'll have a Christmas episode out there for you guys.
Yeah, we'll be here anyway.
But this is the time of the year where, dude, fire truck Santa's coming around.
I saw him today.
Did you?
Not in a fire truck though. He was in like the back of like a big pickup. It was only.
Was it a fire car, like a fire pickup truck, kind of?
It was hard for me to see. It wasn't red.
Damn, did we miss fire truck Santa?
No, you didn't. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't the fire truck brigade like when they go all out.
Yeah.
It was just a pickup with another pickup behind it with like some kind of get up. But it was a guy dressed as Santa waving, and they had like a.
Like, was he maybe like just going to like an apartment complex or?
Who knows?
Yeah.
He drove right down Babcock, and I saw him out the window.
Dude, I still get excited for fire truck Santa. It's one of those things that, dude, like, even when I was coming home from college, Mom would be like, "He's coming! Everyone, hurry up!" And we sprint outside.
I know.
And dude, it makes you feel good because like we've had maybe a little bit of flurries. We've had some cold days, but it's just been rainy. It hasn't felt.
No, it's been snowing a little bit the last couple of days, and I love it.
But barely snow. Nothing's sticking. It's
accumulation.
Yeah, so then it's just like when it lands, it's blah. All the leaves are gone.
Go ahead, Rachel. She's trying to say something.
I just looked it up, and he's coming on Monday.
Yes,
there
we go. We got something to look forward to. But I still get that little.
I just like any type of thing that is people still being corny. I love corny.
You know what's nice is we have a couple little kids next door to us.
And they're gonna get hyped,
dude. Hyped. I love seeing that, and it's just loud ass noise. And I mean, shit. Back in the day, I hear he doesn't, but back in the day, he used to throw the mini candy canes and stuff. Yeah, So that's one of those like.
It was weird this year with our cousin being the Santa Claus thing, but it was nice. He stopped and gave our mom a gift.
For the last like 2 years he would, which is very nice because it does make my mom's spirits lift. And actually, she kind of was like feeling awkward because there's little kids.
Yeah, it's a strange scenario. They didn't get gifts, but our mom got a gift.
Like Santa Claus got off the truck and a wrapped present to my mom, but those little kids.
I wonder, there was at least one family that had to explain to their little kids like, bird across the street is very, very sick, and that's why Santa gave her a gift. Because I know if I was a little kid and I saw the lady across the street get a gift, I would be crying.
I've thrown hissy fits when I was a little kid.
There is a VHS of me crying on Christmas. I can't believe we hadn't mentioned this because we were talking about embarrassing moments the other pod, where it was like one of the first years that I had to accept that I had a little brother, and he was going to get as many gifts as me, and I fucking cried on the recording, and I remember running to the bathroom and try to hide my
also too, I might have had more gifts than you because you're 6 years older, so 6 and 7 you might have been getting like awesome Power Ranger things that are like $40 a piece, where for a baby I was getting like a $1 puzzle. You know what I mean? So like you open up your stuff and I still have 7 gifts to open up.
And it was just it was the struggle within me because I was a good brother.
Well, you wanted to have you were excited.
I was desperate to have a sibling.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where I had to become a man and say, I'm not the only show in town. You know what I mean? And that's why I ran into the bathroom because I knew I was being a brat.
You were in the wrong, and
I knew I was being a brat, but the moment overtook me.
Hey, man, a lot of people
And it
out
never
there,
happened
I'm
again.
sure I have had that. A lot of our friends have closer in age siblings, so it probably was even harder. Actually, no, it probably was harder for you because if I'm only 2 years younger than you, you're 3, and you're just like blah blah. You know, you're still that.
That's what I mean. Like I was probably like 8 or 9 at the time when this happened, and you were like just still a toddler, and I was like, again, like a formative moment where I had to like accept,
and you had to learn
reality.
Like, you know, because you're old enough to go. You were making a Christmas list. Probably got most of the stuff on there.
Yeah. It
Mom
wasn't like I was
fucking
deprived.
would pinch herself out to get us our stuff.
But
and then
he doesn't mean like sell her ass.
No.
He said pinch. What did he?
I said pinch herself. I meant to go like she would put stuff on
Just
credit cards.
clarifying, so our mom
Yes,
did not
no.
sell her ass for
No.
Christmas gifts.
No, and if she had to, she was a good mom. She might have, which
Should we?
my mom's an Irish woman, so I don't think she would have made a lot of money.
She wouldn't have
Anywho,
made a killer.
but you were right at that age where you don't know the value of money yet, but you know the value of things. And I'm just a gurgling baby where like they were just like buy him bright colored things. We can just buy him 100 bright color things.
Mm-hmm. And I was so fucking spoiled before you really were getting gifts. Like I had a mountain of gifts every year.
Yeah.
But you know, I could have went the wrong way and been bent and hated you for it. I had to accept
and
it.
then, you know, just a couple years later, you learned I can manipulate my brother to ask for gifts that I want.
I can be there when he writes his Christmas list.
So I don't even have a
Actually,
Sega.
I probably had to write it for you.
I don't have a Sega, but for some reason, I want Sega games. Go figure.
Yeah, right.
So I never had to learn that lesson.
We know.
Hence taking the big slice of pizza with no shame.
Picking out all the good pieces of the party mix.
Yeah.
You do what you gotta do.
It's all right.
That's all right. You know, but
Just
you know
gotta
what?
work on it.
You
right?
have a lot of great qualities to you because you were raised with more integrity. I don't know the word, but you just sometimes are better with things than we are.
No, we have different parents than you do.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that.
We're way doper than you, that's for sure. We're so cool
yeah, we are
compared to you.
cooler than you, Rachel.
You're
But you know what? Like I was saying earlier, corny is cool to me now that I'm older. I appreciate, not that you're
You
corny,
saying I'm
Rachel.
corny?
No,
A little
no.
corny.
I'm saying
a little corny.
little, but like being festive around the holidays or like having enthusiasm, because we're sarcastic motherfuckers. I am.
Yeah.
I you know, I'm.
But that sarcasm is because deep down you like it.
Yeah, but I know a good joke when I think of it, and I have to say it. But I do. That's what I'm saying. Is corny is genuine.
And I love Christmas. I do. It's always been October to December is like the best years of all of my lives. Football. Mom likes to make soup, so her best cooking was on display. I like the cold weather. I don't have to sweat all the time. It's
Everything's better.
And
about that
you know,
time of
you
year.
get the holiday breaks when you're in high school and college and that stuff. And then the pinnacle is, especially when I was coming home from college, I got to be the fucking king of the house.
King of the castle
For Christmas break, and Mom always went out and about for us. So Christmas is a good time.
Yeah, even when shit was fucked up, it was still Christmas
that was
a little bubble
to pull together. It was
Yeah.
like, all right, let's pull the
And,
shit together.
Also, for me, like when it's football season, it's like a long holiday. Like, dude, the first month after football's over is really hard to adjust to. For me, I hate it.
Dude, it really is a.
It's like a national holiday.
You almost want like, if this world, if our country ever experiences like another like terrible depression or something like that, they need to make football go until like February.
Well, no, we're gonna do our USFL podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna
So
get
look
into
forward
that
to that. I could totally get us going on that.
because it is like
We have a team.
all the holidays end. So like, you know, the week after the New Year's, you're feeling good, but then it's like the coldest, harshest weather. If you own like a small business or anything like that, people spend all their money, so it's a slow time for a lot of people. And then football ends, and like you know, if you don't have the Sixers or something to root for, it's just like, it's a depressing time of the year.
It's a hard adjustment.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of a way long roundabout of Snack Talk Volume 2. Is that what we're calling it?
We can end that segment here
on
Christmas Talk.
Because a lot of people are probably eating snacks while they're watching this. So maybe they're like, damn, I should have got some purple Doritos.
Except they're eating snacks and then we're telling them about diets.
We're just trying to help.
Well, like we said, this is before the new year. So guys, get your snacks in before you start your diets and your workout plans. I saw something, and we have to beat around the bush on this one, but it needs to be said.
We don't beat around the bush on this pod.
You're right. You are right, but you'll see what I'm saying here. There is a new social media thing where I've seen at least 6 to 7 videos in the last week and a half of people with Down syndrome doing drag queen shows. And this brings up a lot of mixed feelings.
Are they doing it willingly or are they being coerced?
That's the part that I think
it's specifically a group of Down syndrome drag queens. I looked it up whenever you sent it to me.
Yeah, I mean,
but
Down syndrome people have sexual orientations.
Of course. But here's the thing. Like, and I don't know. I haven't been around them enough. And once again, we've talked about these people love life. So if they like something, good for them. I'm not discouraging it. I'm not encouraging it, whatever. But you have to think they didn't just find this on their own and wanted to do it.
I disagree.
They have the internet.
I guess. So that's why it's a good discussion, because I can see whatever, if someone were to walk into here and they knew about it and told me, I would immediately go, okay, I totally agree with what you're saying.
Okay.
Because they're having a blast. And we've talked about this. One, just because you do drag queen does not mean you have any sexual orientation. I mean, usually lean towards something, but there's people out there that just like it literally for the art of it.
Yeah, anybody can be a drag queen.
Yeah, and I mean, they probably...
I'm sure there's lots of... I think beating around the bush here a lot. Like, there's plenty of gay people with Down syndrome. They're still gay. It's okay.
Yes, but no, I'm saying just to let's take this back to the beginning. That there's has to be straight dudes who do drag queen, or well, that's why you're crinkling your eyebrows. I'm sure they're by mathematical statistics, dude. Drag queen is a big thing.
Okay.
And there's some places that put on big ass shows that are like very impressive. And they spend a lot of time for it. So you'd think, yes, a lot of them are gay. But I'm sure there's some that aren't. But the Down syndrome thing just adds that wrinkle of, I do hope that these are just people that this is what they want to do.
So the one that you're talking about, so it's Drag Syndrome on
That was
Instagram. And it's internationally acclaimed drag collective for highly addictive queens and kings with Down syndrome.
Okay. Do you know the definition between what's a king? Look into that and see if you can find the difference between a queen and a king. But first of all, my first thing, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but like 10 seconds into the video, I go, yo, these dudes, these queens or whatever the term is, are loving it. They're having a blast, which Down syndrome, if they're not having a meltdown, they are usually fucking loving whatever they're doing, because they only do what they want to do, which is like a quality I wish I had a little bit. If they don't want to do it, they're not doing it. And if they're doing it, they're like, dude, I know everything about dinosaurs.
Okay,
Right.
So a drag queen is someone who is dressing in feminine drag. So a drag king is someone who is dressing in masculine drag and personifying male gender stereotypes as part of an individual or group routine.
Huh, okay. Well, I'm glad they have both sides. Does it say, does women mostly do drag king?
It actually does say Drag kings are mostly female performance artists who dress in masculine drag and persona.
Okay, because I was going to say, if I was like, I'm a drag king and just went in there and just tried to bro out, I probably would get kicked out immediately.
Yeah, probably.
Probably, yeah.
Which, good for them. Everyone needs to have a place. And we've talked about this, that we are going to do some sort of episode where the three of us go to a drag queen event, because they work hard.
It would be interesting to get your take on it, because you, at first, were like, no, absolutely not.
No, that's all right. So if I started off that way, I didn't mean that, because at first I go,
you're just worried more about you don't want to go to a crowded bar.
I think we should go to drag queen bingo.
oh fuck yeah, I'll do bingo anywhere. But
That's a big thing.
no, that I said I have no problem with the drag queen things. They usually put on good performances. They work hard as shit at this. You're right. I don't like crowded places.
Yeah.
And they're popular. These people want to see this, and I'm not going there to laugh at them by any means. I'm going there because they work hard, and they sometimes are really good musical performers. But the Down syndrome.
You're full of shit, dude.
What?
There's definitely a comical aspect to it.
Well, yeah, and because they're funny too. I mean,
Yeah.
but I'm not going there to laugh at them. I'm going there because they are funny, and the only knowledge I know is from Born to Be a Star. What's that movie, Rachel?
A Star is Born.
A Star is Born, that one scene. But they joke amongst themselves. They call each other bitches and stuff and whatnot. But I imagine that they put that in there. It's funny. But I'm not going to laugh at, like, look at this god dancing like a girl.
Yeah, but I'm saying for me, like, I'm going to laugh.
Oh, and yeah.
Not heckle.
Laugh with them, not laugh
That's what
at them.
I'm laughing with them, not at them. But the Down syndrome thing, it did it threw my brain a little bit of a wrench. I'm not going to lie. Because you're right. They have sexual needs, and there are homosexual Down syndrome people out there. But I have to imagine that some of these performers with Down syndrome, they didn't want to do this. They just had someone in their family that did this, and they just wanted to follow along. And I just don't know exactly how I feel about that. Is that bad? Is that a bad
It's
thing?
not bad. I just doubt that that's the
Yeah, I think
case.
you're thinking into it more as like
That was my first thought. I think you're thinking about this too much. I don't think it's like that. Like, look at this picture here in the middle. Like, is that a drag queen or king? Because that guy's got a beard.
Well, here's the funny part about it.
Like
I'm
good
sure
beard.
they like it and love it, and they're
not
not
the
that
best.
good at it. Let's put
Probably
Let me
not.
start it that way. That's where I started to giggle. Is they're not good at it. They don't have dresses that fit well.
I will say this. There's definitely an aspect to this that is if you put somebody with Down syndrome up there dressed in drag, I feel like there is an aspect of laughing at them.
Okay, so there we go. Like what the videos of real drag queens I've seen, dude, they make these things that go around your neck and go up to your chin that look like totally real tits. Seriously, like really good, and they do makeup to make themselves like these dudes will have crazy strong jaw lines, and they can use makeup and make themselves look feminine. It probably takes them hours to get ready. The few videos I've seen are just it's just a dude in a dress that doesn't fit well.
Yeah. No.
And like, Sharpied on eyebrows, it looks like, and stuff. And then they go out and they don't really dance to the music that well.
I think we might be on different Instagram pages though, because this drag syndrome they put on big shows. They're in like arenas and stuff.
Yeah, but
Arenas?
Or like the Benedum Center, like a big theater.
Okay, I was gonna say there's a huge difference between if these.
Sorry, not arenas.
If they're hitting arenas, then we're doing something wrong. But regardless, I always say every time I see any of these bros out there, whatever they're doing with Down syndrome, they're having a good time.
yeah, I think it's for everybody to have fun. Like, I don't feel guilty at all saying there's definitely an aspect of it that is comical.
Okay.
Should I feel guilty about that?
Well, that's where I had a question. I go, this is really fucking funny, but can I laugh at them if their parents are standing next to me?
They're having fun. We're having fun. Everyone's having fun.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
come
if you're
on.
not
Are we going to
laughing
act
with a
like
meme.
somebody dancing on a stage with Down syndrome in any type of garb isn't comical?
And they're wearing like Prince, like
Yeah.
like they're not nothing's form fitting. I mean, some of them have tutus on with like leg hairs popping
It's
out of their
funny.
stockings.
And there's a difference between like laughing and having a good time there and, you know, being mean and
No, none of it's mean spirited.
that's what I'm saying. Like if you're just laughing, having a good time because it's fun,
Okay, good.
then that's fine. But if you're like, you know, there's a difference with someone hating
Well, I'm
something.
not going to put that much thought into it. If it's funny, it's funny.
Okay. Well, I guess
I'm
I
not throwing apples at the stage. You know what I
That's
mean?
what I'm saying. Like
I-
you're not like
It's funny.
get off the stage.
This was therapeutic for me because I wasn't sure how I should or am allowed to feel about it because I worked with the Challenger program. I've worked with kids, so it's funny. They have a lot of fun.
That'd be like you going up on stage in
But
drag and me. I'm not supposed to laugh at you.
But that's the thing. That the difference is it adds an aspect to it.
It's
It
still
does.
funny. And as long as they're having fun, no one's pushing them out on
Okay.
the stage with a stool saying, "Get out there."
Well, that was when I first saw it. But you know, I don't think much into it. I don't know much about the drag scene. But I just to be honest, my first thought was, they have a sister or a cousin that a lot of times they attach on to somebody. You
They're
know what
like
I mean?
playing dress up for them.
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought at first. Until you see them and they're having a fucking blast up there, and I go, damn, I'm jealous of that.
Yeah, they're having a good time, and if I'm gonna go, I'm not gonna look around to make sure it's okay to laugh.
Okay, all right, good. Well, that makes me feel better because it is funny. I was happy for them when I realized I was like, this seems like something they want to do. But for a quick second, I was like, someone's forcing them to do this.
Nah, I don't think that. And if they are, that's really fucked up. But you know, if I'm going there to spectate, I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna enjoy the show.
And dude, to something we've talked about a lot. And they put another backbone into the conversation supporting us is, dude, the bros, when those Down syndrome bros get together, they're just broing out. They're having a good old time. There's this video, I'm sure you haven't seen it because you're not on social media enough, and it's like 5 dudes with Down syndrome bowling. Holy shit, do I wish I could ever. They're humping and they're just tossing balls down the lane, dude. And dude, the whole time they're dancing. They're not even wearing bowling shoes. And it's just so funny to see them like, fuck, how do they get that much fun in life?
They deserve it.
They deserve it. They deserve it. But that was just something I seen on the internet, and I needed to air out my grievances of, am I a bad person? But I'm not. It's funny because it's funny.
I will say this: if you gave me my choice, I'd rather go see non-Down syndrome drag.
Because
I am curious who the people are that are really excited to go see Down syndrome drag queens.
well, and Rachel's saying they're like getting some big theaters going for this.
Okay, well then we can't deny that they're there because it's hilarious to them.
And
Don't try to tell me most of the people are there like, oh my God, I love this artistic expression.
But yeah, because that's where
Let's call a spade
now
a
that
spade.
Rachel said that, I'm saying now are these
This is like a sideshow.
are these parents whoring these kids out kind of as a
Well,
sideshow?
They're not kids though. I mean, I think a lot of these are.
Am I wrong to say everyone with Down
Adults.
syndrome? No,
You have the mentality of a child.
well, yeah, you just have to have a lifelong caregiver to you. You know, not unless I know there's levels to it, but most of them live with their parents or a significant family member for the rest of their lives. I could be wrong about that, but I think
No, you're
that's
not.
the case.
I mean, they at least have to have some kind of facilitation in life.
Dude, I just seen this video of, it was sincere. It was this doctor, and he's, by the end of it, he's breaking down in tears. And he had someone, now they were autistic, but dude, he shows his arm. He has this crazy bite mark on his arm. And he was just trying to give a physical. And he was crying because he goes like, I work with these children and these adults my whole life. And he was like crying because he goes like, the mother who takes care of this person is just worn down, and like is just, and this is like a full grown adult at this point, and she's like, I don't know what to do, and the doctor just goes like, I feel so bad because this is her son, and like this kid just beats her up all day long. And
not Down syndrome. That's something else.
No, I said all severely
that's
autistic.
Different. I mean,
yeah, no, it's
I know.
totally
I know
different.
you know it's different. I'm saying like the type of care that people that are extremely autistic. Autistic's such a general term. I mean, yes, some of them are like really aggressive, and it's a really there's no perfect way to handle that because obviously she doesn't want to put her son in a home. But that's what he needs.
And not only that, but I'm sure that's super expensive. You know what I mean? And he said this was a 25-year-old male.
Yeah, so he could beat the shit out of his mom.
And I'm enough where this doctor looks. I mean, he's fit. He's like a he can handle himself.
So this dude bit the doctor?
Dude, on this part of his arm is like it's still bleeding.
He might be fit, but he ain't quick.
He's But he's crying because he goes, the mom is just like, is there anything I can do? And the doctor has to go like, no, because he'll be fine. And then all of a sudden, just it's basically like having an orangutan.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
Like that. Well, I didn't mean it that way. I meant a specific thing of that story of that lady who had an orangutan and it got into her Xanax and went crazy and killed her friend.
Yeah, yo, that shit is. Stop fucking trying to keep full-grown apes in your house, people. Like, what the fuck? I think these ladies have sex with those monkeys.
Maybe. You know what's crazy? Dude, the first thing they go for when they go
your
crazy.
Lips, right?
No, your genitals. They fucking rip your genitals and then your face off.
Yeah, don't keep them.
Yeah, stop having orangutans. They're cool.
And they're not that cute.
Yeah.
They're really not.
If you really, really, really want one, go for the spider monkey that a punch will subdue it.
Yeah, little guys.
Yeah.
Like this. I think
not the 180-pound thing that has 7 times your strength.
And they will maim you for life.
Oh, dude, remember for a while I was
put
young.
you in a wheel if they don't kill you.
For a while, and she was the lady that survived. The friend got killed, if I remember correctly. The lady survived, and I remember her going on Oprah, and they put a veil over her face.
Oh, horrible, dude.
And dude, it was because her fucking face was ripped off. That's nuts.
And I'll take this one on the chin. Like, I'm not sheepish at all to say, like, I don't feel that bad for you.
Yeah. Why keep an orangutan?
You
dude?
stupid, yo.
Go to the zoo every day. They sell season passes. Yeah, they're cool, but everyone has a bad day every once in a while. Same with the primate.
Same with the... Yeah, exactly.
You know what you should do? If you really want an orangutan,
go to the zoo.
Go to the zoo and adopt a senior dog because...
Well, a dog doesn't compare to orangutan.
No, I'm just saying, like, what you need companionship that much. Get
you
yourself
can't relate because you're not a fucking weirdo why these people want orangutans to begin with.
Yeah.
Because they like them when they're babies and they have to wear a diaper and are, playful, but...
Also, anyone who's
eventually they have to just be caged.
Anyone who really wants an exotic animal, fucking find a hobby.
Get a snake.
Yeah, just get a ball python. Or like that dude who fucking...
got ate by his fucking monitor lizards.
Yeah. It's just there has yet to be a happy ending to any of those stories. There's not a story out there that's like,
we've all seen Tiger King.
Well, yeah, nothing happy there.
No.
And also, you've never once heard the story of, I had an orangutan, I had him until he was 35 and he passed away peacefully. That just never happens.
I might, but that's boring, so nobody's going to hear about it.
I would like to see, I would bet that's happened maybe a handful of times. And orangutans need a house. Unless you're willing to buy a mansion and hang trees everywhere, it's never going to be fulfilled.
Yeah, and even still, they're dangerous.
Go to the fucking zoo, people. They need the money.
It does bother me, though, because the relationship these people form with these animals makes me uncomfortable.
You're right. They're fucking those animals, aren't they?
It seems to be a lot of women and older women that really get attached to these adult monkeys. That's all I'm saying.
Well, and think of the money it takes to do that. why don't you get some foster kids? Why don't you do some good for the world?
Because they want to have sex. You're not going to have sex with the foster kids, I hope.
That's a whole nother conversation. I wish that was more of the case.
The point is, there is more to this dynamic than just, I want a cool pet.
You want a cool pet? You know what? You want a cool pet? Get like a small octopus and spend all the money for a sweet aquarium.
There's a lot of animals you can get that aren't going to murder you.
Those little sugar gliders are cool. Shit. Go get a baby raccoon. Apparently you can domesticate those pretty well.
And nobody, like if you were really attached to this orangutan, I would be like, dude, I'm not, I don't even, we'd have to have a long talk about why.
Even if you had a ferret, if you're like, bro, I love this thing. I'd be like, I know that they kind of nibble at the same way with.
Well, you've known me my whole life, so you'd be like,
if you had a ferret,
Steven's having a crisis.
Yeah, I would be like, either what drugs is he doing, or I got to call the crisis center because.
Oh, look, it's going down my pant leg, Gene. Look at him.
Shit, even if you got a gerbil, I'd be like, are you okay?
We need to take you to get some help.
But yeah, I just that ain't no fun.
There is no connection between Down syndrome and primate.
Oh, yes. That is a good point. That was just a totally different topic. I seen something. I had to get it off my chest, and I wasn't wrong. It's a little bit different.
But you could put me out there as saying that there is definitely a comedy aspect to Down syndrome drag. And the people that are buying tickets to go see it are not going for artistic expression.
You know what? Let's talk.
That makes me a fucking...
We do like to get real here, okay? So, and there's nothing wrong with this. We talked about this off camera. We're talking about Down syndrome and those type of things. A lot of these people have great lives, and we said you really only see out in public is white people with Down syndrome. And you brought a point to me that I never thought about, is that white people aren't the only ones with that get Down syndrome. There are African Americans and Mexicans that do, but just the family hides it.
And they don't have the resources to give them...
Yeah, not hide, it's not the right word. It's
they just don't have the access to the programs and the money to showcase them on Instagram. And we don't know.
That is kind of a good way to put it, because there are, I guarantee,
it's a little
that
exploitive.
there are people that exploit their child.
Exploitative? What's the word there, Rachel?
Exploitative sounds about right. But yes, I see these accounts pop up. I see these reels, and I go like, okay, I'm glad you have a son, but when you look in the background, it's like, that's a very nice house.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be doing this if you were in a trailer.
No. Our mom was a school bus driver, and she talked about some of the children that she picked up that had special needs and stuff. And there was a big difference between their behavior just based on what neighborhoods they came from.
Which that is...
It's sad.
It's sad.
This is America, dude.
It's something really... that got me thinking. Because... you think there's a lot of... I can't think of a good... Never mind.
No. It's too late.
Okay.
If it's horrible, Rachel can cut it. Although we don't believe in that here.
You think, like, when you think of, like, Baltimore or, like, Detroit, like, you know, where there's slums, and a majority of them are blacks and Latins and things like that. Minorities. They have a lot more kids than the normal white suburban people.
Yeah, people aren't even having kids.
And so you only, like, on social media, you only see the white suburban Down syndrome kids and stuff.
I'll have to take your word on this one.
Regardless, the point I was trying to say is, if you were to break it down statistically, we're all human beings, so minorities and white people, if we want to say, break it down that way.
Oh, you can't say white, dude. You gotta say Caucasian.
They would have just as many people with Down syndrome and autism and stuff like that.
But they don't get...
But it's like the white people that almost flaunt it, and like the word what word did you say,
like showcase it, exploit it.
Yeah, exploit it almost is the point I'm making.
This isn't news. People do anything to get likes and views on their fucking social media. And look, there's nothing wrong with it, but there is a divide. Like, I've watched plenty of documentaries about autism and stuff, and most of the children on those documentaries are families with resources.
Yeah, so that's if we want to bring it,
Now,
families
let's not
with resources.
pretend that we don't live in America, and there is definitely a racial divide. Unfairly, it is unfair, but it's
and
just,
that goes to show, like, you go to social programs and shit, like they black minorities and everything, the non-havers, and we're non-havers because if we had it,
no, we're havers.
we're havers. You're right. I can't say that. Regardless, they should be just as in the light as we are, because social media just makes it look like there's only white. From my social media,
Well, how about this?
personally,
Maybe let's not pretend that white and black and Latino cultures are the same. Maybe to them that's shameful to put videos on the internet of your nephew or whatever with Down syndrome. Like, maybe to them that's like I said, exploitative. Like,
yeah.
and I would maybe agree with them. I'm just saying. There's nothing.
There's nothing wrong with them being on social media. It's just they do it in a matter of fact of, like, this isn't raising awareness. You know what I mean? Like, it's different if when I see a clip of, like, because you'll see clips sometimes of, like during Halloween, there's a bunch of clips of, like, if they have I think it was a blue pumpkin that shows that person has either sensory overload or something like that.
Nonverbal.
Yeah, nonverbal, like things like that. I was like, that's good message. Good. That isn't for anyone to make themselves famous off. But specifically what I'm thinking is these two, it's two white families. They're different, and each have a young daughter who has Down syndrome, and it just, every video I see of them is very, they're taking advantage. Like, there's nothing about the mom or dad in it. It's just her talking, and it's like, you're taking advantage, I think, of this situation.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I just think it's just family to family. People handle things differently, and I don't know what's up with your algorithm, but it is definitely true that there is a divide between what you're seeing on your stream versus the reality.
Of course. And once again, none of it is like buy T-shirts off this girl. Taking advantage of is harsh.
That's probably a strong term. It just, there is a sense, and this is natural, of discomfort maybe in seeing that video. Maybe they don't mean it that way, but when you watch it, you kind of feel like, is this exploitative?
It feels forced to me. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And maybe not. I mean, maybe these girls love doing these videos and stuff. So if that's the case, I'm so sorry. I'm wrong. I will always admit I'm wrong if I'm proven wrong.
I would like to. It'd be nice to get some feedback on this.
So yeah,
I would like to genuinely. I want to know how people feel about this, because, is this a sensitive subject? I mean, sure it is, but I don't think we have said anything that's offensive. Maybe we're just ignorant.
Maybe we're ignorant. And if that's the case, I apologize. I wanted to bring something up that sparks communication, and then also something that is newer in the world. I mean, this is social media. Just, it keeps taking steps forward.
It's funny because, like, we're only 6 years apart, but if you didn't tell me about these things, I would have no idea that this was even a thing, because I don't have a feed that I'm watching every day.
Once again, they're taking advantage. I will take that back. That was the wrong word. I'm just not smart enough to keep using the word.
And you're not. You should.
What's the word you keep? I keep
exploitative.
Every time I said taking advantage, I meant
tried
to use
like
that.
7 times.
Exploitativeness.
It's funny though, because you can't feel this. That's your genuine reaction to it. You're not. It makes you a little like, what is this? Is this?
And it does.
Is it forced?
I'm literally like, I keep finding myself backpedaling, but then I go like, I'm literally not trying to do any harm or be any mean. I'm trying to bring up a subject that sparks communication, and that there's some funny to it. Can we?
That's where I think the reason this is even something you're not totally comfortable saying is because you feel like you're not allowed to say it's comical. There's a way that things can be comical without it being mean-spirited.
And I've yet to use the R word.
Yeah, well,
but I only use that when it's supposed to be funny. But we'll move on because there's people that might have tuned out. Because
Why?
Because
I want to know what people think about that.
I think it does make. We live in such a crap world now where like you can't talk about things because
we're not famous or rich enough to worry about upsetting our sponsors.
What happens in 3 years when I try out?
Then we won't talk about our words anymore.
I'm just kidding. It really is, I think, an interesting topic. And I know I'm not the only one.
No, you just...
I've talked this subject with other people, and we all agree.
It's okay to have questions.
The Down syndrome are fucking awesome. I wish I could enjoy my life the way they do. I might be slightly autistic as well, so I get double flips of the coin.
If I had a Down syndrome nephew, I mean, or if I had a Down syndrome son, like, how would you feel if I was putting videos out all the time about it? Would it bother you? Would you probably love it?
Yeah, you're right. But
now, if I was dressing them up as a girl and putting them on a stage,
and they didn't like it, but that's the thing, though.
They probably
would
do like it.
Because they'll immediately go, I'm not doing that. They're better at that than I am because you would have a better chance. If you had a Down syndrome son who didn't want to do it, you would have a better chance of getting me to dress up like a lady and get on stage.
If they don't want to do it,
because they're just like, I'm not doing that.
But
I'm playing my dinosaurs today.
There is definitely...
You know what I'll say? Every time I see videos of those bros and girls are the fucking life of every summer party. When they have a 4th of July party,
they're usually the most popular person in the family.
Psyched.
Yeah, they're usually having the most fun, and they're the most popular person. But
dude, I'm usually the most popular party. I'm the most popular person at our family parties.
You're also the person closest to having Down syndrome.
God damn it, I knew it.
You be aight.
I knew there's a reason I have crazy knowledge on triceratopses.
Yeah, right. Shout out to Dating on the Spectrum.
Yes.
I love that show.
I mean,
I got so weepy watching that show.
Dude, you were crying watching that show a little bit.
Oh yeah, every episode.
That's nice, dude. That goes to show.
That's why I don't.
That goes to show character of this. Like he literally.
Yeah, I love it.
You love love.
I love love, and I love seeing people get together as a family and really support these people. It's just we shouldn't feel bad about saying not everybody has that support.
Dude, Rachel was using so many mean words when we watched it.
I bet
you wouldn't watch it with me.
Because you were getting all...
I didn't even watch it because you said you didn't want to watch it.
The words she was throwing around, I said, I can't believe I married you. That was disgusting the way you described that person.
If anything, it's the opposite.
There was a couple of those girls that were cuties, dude. There was one girl who wore like a hat that I would have dated.
Yeah.
But she didn't have Down syndrome. She just was autistic.
Most of them were...
Yeah, there was only a few that had Down syndrome.
And the one I watched?
The one girl?
No, the one dude. I think he didn't have anything, and he was just wrangling Tang.
You're talking about autism, because you can't...
Yeah, that was all autism.
You can't fake Down syndrome.
Well, on the spectrum means...
Autistic.
Yeah. And that guy, he just maybe wasn't the greatest public speaker, but I watched very little of it, and I started watching, and I go... I think this guy's tricking everybody right now.
It's funny that you couldn't watch that show because it made you so uncomfortable. And I watched it, and I couldn't get enough. I loved it. I was so, like...
Which I don't know what that says about me, but also...
There was also part of me that was like, damn, dude, I haven't gotten laid in a while, and these motherfuckers are doing all right.
I also... And I'm not relating the two, but there's certain things like that show Made from MTV from a while back, where it would be like...
I know what
a dorky white dude would be like, I want to be a freestyle rapper. I couldn't watch that either because I guess maybe it's because I get too involved with the scene or the show. I feel like I'm there and my body just physically moves me away.
You don't like things that are awkward or feel awkward.
I can't deal with the awkwardness. It physically hurts me.
My friend Clint was like that. He couldn't even watch like It's Always Sunny sometimes because it was like there was awkward.
You know where I'll get sometimes great show, but Curb Your Enthusiasm. There's some scenes where I'm like, ugh.
That's what it's. That's
That's
exactly
what it's meant
wants
to do.
to do.
That's
yeah.
the comical genius of it. But that show they were taking advantage of these dudes.
That's where I don't get it. I get that like dating on the spectrum, that's real awkwardness. But Curb Your Enthusiasm is not. It's
once
not
again,
real.
not related to it because I watched Curb Your Enthusiasm is a great show. Always Sunny in Philadelphia, great show. It's that Made show. It was they at the moment didn't realize they were the joke. It was laugh at them moment. Where Love on the Spectrum, that was like, that's just everyone feel good. Like, look at this. These people, they still, whatever. But that Made show was like, TV producers, whoever was filming that, were going like, yeah, keep egging them on. Put them in the worst position. You know what I mean? Like, someone behind the scenes were like, how much worse can we make it for this guy, I think.
Yeah.
And they're like trying to be like, dude, I want to be a was it a B-boy? Who's the break dancers? B-boys.
Yeah.
I want to be a B-boy. And he's like spinning on his butt. And it's like, dude, they're egging you on and making you look like such a fool.
Shows like that, I feel like everybody's in on the joke. It's just good TV.
Everyone besides the person.
That's what it wants you to think. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Made's off the air for a reason.
Yeah. I watched him too. That was the thing. I just watched the pain and going like, is there any way he can be a B-boy?
What about like the shows that do like practical jokes? Like that make very uncomfortable settings.
Impractical Jokers, no, that show is genius.
Because that's real.
Every once in a while, but it's
awkwardness.
No, that show is just comic genius.
It's not real anymore, but in the beginning.
And you showed me that show because like that's been on for a long time.
Forever.
When I seen advertisements, I was like, that show sucks.
Gonna be trash. Yeah.
And
it was on True TV. So.
You get half an episode in, you go, this is one of the best shows ever fucking made.
Yeah, real laughs.
You really the difference between me and you is I go that I want to be a fly on the wall. You go, I want to be one of the Impractical Jokers.
I'd be good at that. Don't you think? Like if anyone can keep a straight face.
On some of them, yeah, like the ones where like you clip a balloon to somebody, I could do that. But the one where I tell you have to you're blinded and you have to walk up to somebody and tell them,
yeah,
I love you, like just whatever. I that is where my skin starts to crawl.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you go, I wish I could do that.
Hell yeah! If I could get paid to do fun, I mean, it's fun at the end.
The whole backing of it is someone they're gonna have to sign a paper. That show I go at the end of it, they have to sign a paper going, I can release my image.
Not in every state.
No, well,
it's not like that everywhere.
The early one, the majority
they
is
did
in
them
New
in
York.
Long Island and New York, yeah.
But so that is kind of a barrier, I have to imagine. But some of them, I go, dude, how?
Like, how about this? Could you do this? I mean, size limitations excluded. Could you go on a cruise ship and get under somebody's chair while they're like laying out in the sun?
That one, I know exactly the one you're talking about.
Because I can't imagine. I can't see you doing that.
Here's the thing, though. Why that show is genius is they have the kind of unwritten rule of, could I do it? Yes. But I could make up excuses. Where them, like, because I would just go, guys, I'm sorry, I thought I lost my glasses. I didn't want to interrupt you guys.
No,
but
they're not allowed.
But they go like, what's wrong? Like, they're not allowed to make an excuse.
Yeah, that's cheating. Yeah.
So yes, I could cheat my way through that, but the way they do it, no, I couldn't. I could do the presentations for most of the part.
They're like the funniest bits they do.
Yeah, and if you haven't watched Impractical Jokers, you guys are just missing out.
I have to put in this caveat. I haven't watched it in many, many years now. Like new episodes, I imagine it's not the same as it used to be. They're too famous.
Anything from pandemic and before is worth it. The news, because like during the pandemic they were making episodes and it was just them Skyping each other.
Left.
Yeah, so new stuff, but I think I could say with some strong backing to it is anything from pandemic and before. There's not a crap episode.
Yeah. Well, it's the reason it got so popular.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the biggest like network shows, comedy show. Like,
and you know they do I don't know if they do it anymore, but they used to do an Impractical Jokers cruise. And
yeah, I'm not about no cruise.
I don't like cruises, but they bring on a bunch of like Jay Okerson. They bring on a bunch of
but they all talk about like it was a nightmare.
The comics do. But that's the only time I might be able to be like, Big J, I love you. Can I hug you? And can I have your chain wallet?
Yeah. We could just go see Big J.
Yeah.
But, yeah, check it out. If you haven't, I don't know where you.
One last thing.
Anybody watching this has seen Impractical Jokers.
I hope so. If not, you're missing out. And if not, you're welcome. Because I think there's a streaming service out there you can watch without commercials.
It's on
That's
Max.
the one show.
It's on Max.
It's the one show we will watch with commercials.
Not anymore, but
because we've seen them all.
Before,
but,
yeah.
You know, I was in Giant Eagle. Yes, just today. I didn't even mention this to you, Rachel. A man, a dad, a father. His son, who was 9, 10, always have a hard time, like until they're like a little bit older, called his son Sweetheart. And it brought back a memory. I had a friend growing up. The friend I used to go to all the time, I don't want to put him out there, but both their names are the same in the trailer, called his son Sweetheart. And even when I was that young, I always go, that's weird.
It is a little
You know what
weird.
I mean? Like, because, like, parent nicknames and stuff can come from nowhere.
I thought you just said his name for a second. I was like, wait.
Yeah, well, but no, so... And it threw me off, and then immediately went like, oh, yeah, dude, I remember like being young and being uncomfortable with him, being like, hey, sweetheart, grab that cup of water for me. And a dad to a son, it weird, right?
It is. If you're not... like, that's something you, like, that's something like his grandfather probably called him sweetheart. Like, in our family...
if Dad called me sweetheart, I'd be like, you want to fight, dude?
Yeah, I guess.
Because we had nicknames.
Bucko.
Dad called me Goober. Mom, damn it. It's a shame that I always forget it, but it was like a Jewish word, kind of. She'd always, it'll come to me. But regardless, parents, like my buddy Dave, he has a daughter now. He calls her Birdie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where it comes from.
That's cute.
Yeah, no, I mean, she's like 8 weeks old or something like that. But her Christmas card literally says Birdie on it. But so those are like kind of normal. But the sweetheart, like, that's weird, right?
It's definitely a little, yeah.
I don't care if your grandfather called your dad that. Like,
it's not as bad as like calling him sweet cheeks or something. But it's not. Yeah, it's a little weird. That makes me think of when I called my neighbor's dog Sweetheart, and it turned out it was a boy.
It was a boy.
And he was effusively calling him boy to make sure I knew, and I never addressed it. But. Hey, Adam, your dog's a boy. I know now. If you're watching.
Which, stay tuned, because at one point I'm just going to force you to go to some of your neighbors and ask. There are some underlying stories at your apartment that...
There's a bunch of drama.
Someone's
I'm glad it happened.
Someone's spitting someone's face.
Yeah. I'm just worried it's gonna be hard to get the real story.
The one dude refers to the girl below him as the bitch.
Right, which we didn't mention. He knocked on my door because he got a letter about noise complaints. And of course I'm across the hall and I'm the new guy, so he came to me and asked me if he was being too loud, and I told him like, nah, if you were being too loud, I would just knock on your door and say something. So then he assumes it's my downstairs neighbor. He's like, she's a bitch. He called her bitch like twice in a very short conversation. So something happened. But I'm worried if I just go ask her, I doubt I'll get the real story.
Well, here's the thing. We've talked, I think episode 1 we talked about this. You never, same with my store in the shopping plaza, you don't want to get involved ever. No matter, even if you think you're being unbiased, you got to let the things naturally unfold, because eventually someone will want you to pick sides, where you never want to dive into it. If you get the chance where someone's smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, if I run into her, like coming into the building, I'm 100% going to ask about it. But I'm not going to like force the issue because then I am putting myself in, you know.
The same way we talked about me being fat allows me for people to put their defense down, and I attract craziness. I've also attract
drama,
bitchiness.
People want to tell you their side of the
story.
story.
They want me on their side.
Yeah.
So I've learned shit since like middle school to go like, oh man, that stinks. I am middle of the road genes, so you'll never get an opinion out of me.
Right. I think that's about a wrap.
That should be about it. Except I wanted to bring up this one thing where Jesus Christ. No, I'm just kidding. If I just started religious spewing on here.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know where you were going with that.
If I just came out here and I was like, there's only one true religion. But we're getting around Christmas time, guys. I hope everyone's having a good time. All my buddies out there, guys, thanks for listening. Nate, I gave you the shout out last time. I know you're a buddy. You listen. I still rock that.
Tell us what you think about our conversation we had. I'd like to hear if
yeah, this one
people agree or disagree with.
And we've talked. We're not just a soul comedy podcast.
No, we get serious.
I'd like to get into things, and that was one of the more serious conversations we've had, because I genuinely think we're in a pinnacle in this world where you're not sure what you're allowed to say and stuff. For me, anyway.
No, that's why we want to be able to talk about this shit. Because, like I said, we don't have to worry about our sponsors.
Yeah, we're dumb. Okay, we don't know.
I disagree with that.
Kid, dude, watch him do math. You want to talk about dumb? No, I'm just kidding.
I need more than a pen and paper.
Now, thanks for listening. To all the boys out there, the only thing I did want to mention is we started getting some haters on one of our shorts.
Yeah, bring it.
Crazy part is no one said that guy's fat. They just said it's crazy. I thought Jalen Hurts is better than Patrick Mahomes now.
You took it a step further and said if you could pick someone to lead your team into the future, you would go Jalen over Pat, which I was even like, wait.
And I'm sticking with it. And if you want to hear about it, go to Homesick Philly Bros and watch the most recent episode. Rachel, was that episode 8? 6.
Really? Oh, of Homesick.
Of Homesick
We don't just
Philly
do
Bros.
fucking comedy here, okay?
Yeah, so you want to hear that? If you think that's a crazy outtake,
bring it.
Go back and I'll prove you wrong.
And I'll agree with you that he's crazy.
But besides that, Rachel, why don't you do the one thing you can do besides
leave?
You bitch. You're not allowed to leave me.
Have a good night, y'all.
Have a good night. Give us our plugs.
All right. We are on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. I have all of our handles on the screen, so take a screenshot if you're watching the video, or you can go to our website to find direct links there. It's aml.news.blog.
Okay, Rachel, do me a favor and make sure you record this. Crap hand 5. That's how you know you have a real good friend.
We're having a good time.
Thanks, guys. And you will be aight.